Allow me this morning a little bit of old man screaming at the clouds, spicy Monday, anti technology. My brand new Pixel 10 Pro died a week in. Complete brick. I know. Tragic. Shit happens. Phones break. It's a new phone. Yes, fine. 10 years of using HTC phones and never had a single problem. Beautiful hardware. I switch over to the spiritual successor in the Pixel, and I am on my third Pixel Lemon. Still not going to use an overpaid Apple device. I can still do cool stuff like plug this into my computer and try and debug the program over command line with a USB cord, which you can't do with your stupid ass iPhone, you elitists, you Cupertino elitists. Whatever, your phones probably still work. But you know what actually broke? What the real frustration point is, because I do have access to my old phone, is my ability to log into my Verizon account. Because guess what? The only form of MFA I had set up with Verizon was SMS to my cell phone number, which is tied to my dead phone.
I see Monday, time to break it down. MSP talk, ripping off the rails.
And well, that got me thinking, what else am I going to find out this week that I can't log into? What existential dread do I have to worry about being surprise locked out of because my MFA, or basically my identity, was completely tied to this thing and now it doesn't work? What work am I not going to be able to do this week? As a proud early generation millennial, that's right, folks, I'm turning 42 in a few months. I hate talking to people. As most millennials can tell you, I don't want to call anyone. I don't want to walk in and see you. I really want zero human interaction whatsoever. I also don't want to talk to AI. We are a real paradox of a generation, right? I just don't want to talk to anybody. I just want to be able to do the thing on my own without any need to wait on someone else to slow me down, even if they know what they're doing and I don't. Right? That's sort of the millennial mindset. So when I got my new phone, it was amazing. I was able to log into Verizon on both of my old device and my new device. I was able to turn down the SIM card on my old device, spin up the eSIM on my new device, all in about 5 minutes without having to talk to a single human being, and immediately had everything transferred over to my new phone because, generally speaking, Google is amazing. And I was done, and I was thinking, this is it. This is the dream. I am in the world of tomorrow. It's fantastic, my friends. If you think that living in the Apple ecosystem means seamless switching between devices, oh, do I got news for you? You don't know what you're missing if you have been stock Android to stock Android. But, anyways, my joy, of course, was crashed upon the rocks after my new phone died. And suddenly I could not log into Verizon at all because I figured, well, I'll just switch back to my old phone. It technically still kind of works. I can't do that. I now have to go to a Verizon store. I really don't want to go to a Verizon store, even though there's one 5 minutes away, because I don't want to go anywhere, period. I don't want to have to talk to a human, and I definitely don't want to have to talk to one of the soulless, dead behind the eyes husks of a human being who works at a cell phone kiosk, hoping beyond all hopes that any day now they'll either get that job in enterprise sales they've always wanted or that job in IT they just never could seem to find. I don't want that dead behind the eyes experience. I just want to log into a website, type a few numbers in, and be back to using my old phone. And I can't do that because of how the Verizon MFA was set up. I'm not a security guy, but this got me thinking neither are most of our customers, neither are most people. In this state of identity management right now is really actually kind of frustrating. My entire digital life is basically chained to one fragile piece of hardware. We've been told security first, MFA on everything. That is now the de facto minimum standard you're being told as an MSP to do, to mandate MFA on everything. But oftentimes, the way it's implemented by vendors that we're forced to work with feels like punishment. I know that some of you are sitting there, probably at this point, hearing me and thinking, well, Dean, you probably had multiple methods that you could have used in Verizon to set up MFA, and you probably didn't save the backup codes or any of that stuff. So, first of all, SMS, default MFA via SMS with Verizon has no form of backup codes. So, haha, And secondly, maybe they added new MFA features in the last 10 years. I don't know. I don't log into that account very often to go and update my MFA settings, and neither do you. So don't lie to me over there, security person. Don't you lie to me and claim you log into every possible service you have to update whatever the most recent security offering there is. No one does. I am a real certified human boy, just like Pinocchio wanted to be, and real human boys do not do that. And backup codes, yes, lie to me like you lie to your dentist about flossing, that all of you have saved every set of backup codes ever in a secure, centralized area that you can easily cross device access. No, you haven't. No one has. You've saved some of them. Don't lie. I could have solved all of this with a centralized password manager that manages OTP, and I do have one of those. But in this case, I didn't have that option with Verizon. And that's really only as good as the authentication methods the parent vendor actually allows you to use. So here I sit wondering, is a code app on my phone actually safer than a browser extension? What's more likely? Is my phone going to get stolen or die, or my browser get popped? Probably my browser getting popped because I use the internet and I've been using the internet since I was a kid and I use the internet in stupid ways. What's the likelihood that my super reliable piece of technology, my pocket computer, is going to just not work one day? Almost zero. But yet here I am basically screwed. Hats off to Google Authenticator and Microsoft Authenticator, which do allow me to do backups and easily switch between devices. So that helps with some stuff. But the point still remains that I'm screwed with anything that needs SMS verification or a phone call verification right now because I don't have access to either. So I get it. Security has to exist. And ultimately, as MSPs and vendors, really, we're kind of in the middle. The best we can do is sort of try to help shepherd and federate this whole experience. But right now, it feels more like security and identity management roulette, and it's really frustrating. And it has reminded me of how a lot of our end users feel when we force some of these controls on them. And I understand that the necessities of the risk mitigation, the businesses we run mean that we do have to force these things on our users. But bear in mind the next time one of your users is super frustrated because of a security control you had to enforce on them, that sometimes the actual world of the end user is not nearly as black and white and as functional as it seems to us. I am left at the end of the day with Verizon's MFA and my current situation feeling an awful lot like a citizen of Metropolis after Superman to save the city from an alien invasion. Glad the Earth is still here, but at the same time, kind of wish my car didn't get destroyed. I was, sort of have a job to get to this week and kind of can't do that. And yes, fair enough. I guess I could have planned better when I saw Lois Lane on the news saying the city was being attacked. I could have moved my car, but come on. Everybody's not going to move their car because it's not a reasonable expectation that Superman's going to pick it up and throw it at a monster. And that's basically the phone equivalent of what happened to me now. And I'm left feeling a little bit annoyed right now, even if I understand that it was in my best interest. Stay spicy.